Hi everyone, welcome to your Save to Win onboarding session. My name is Jessica Thalen and I'm the Save to Win Program Manager for CU Solutions Group. Today I'll be walking you through the next steps to your product launch. Today we're going to look at the Trainer's Guide and Staff Product Training presentation, the Doorways to Dreams research survey, and a few other materials under the training section. Before I get started, make sure you have signed into the Save to Win administrative website so you can follow along with me as I go through each of these documents. If you have not received your login information, send me an email with your name, title, and contact number and I'll set you up with access. Logged into the admin site? Great, let's begin. Once you've logged into the admin site, click on the Implementation Documents link on the left-hand side of the screen. Let's open the first document. The first thing that you'll want to do is look at the second slide. This slide will give you customization instructions that your credit union needs to modify before you do your credit union training. So you can see here, these are the slides and the areas that need to be modified. Slide 7 and 8, you'll update the product features. Slide 10, add credit union prizes if you're going to offer them. Slide 12, account opening procedures. Slide 13, rules and truth in savings disclosure locations. Slide 17, member survey link, and slide 18, sales surveys and strategies. As you go through the slides, we have the agenda, and then we have a lottery quiz, which is really fun to do with your staff. This is a great opportunity for you to interact with them and allows the participants to guess the answers before displaying. So when you go through the live slideshow, each one of these sentences can be brought in with just a click of your mouse. So you'll click the sentence, give them a few seconds to answer the question, and then click the results. Same for question 2 and question 3. This really gets the staff kind of interested in lottery and how people think about spending money in games of chance. Next gives a brief product overview of what Save to Win is and how it got started. It also talks about the states that are involved in the program. Next is a basic product overview. This product feature page is going to be where you are going to update your credit union information. So your dividend rate and your APY will need to be entered in these areas. If your credit union is putting a cap on your account, you'll want to make sure that you update this area. If not, then you can delete this area and just leave the area that says none. Next is the second products feature page. There's a couple areas on this slide where you'll need to modify. If your credit union is having a member only or staff drawing, you'll include that here and here. If your credit union is not participating in either or both of these, you can delete this sentence entirely from the slide. Next, reviews the national prizes. This slide is the credit union prizes, which is optional. We talked about this earlier. So if your credit union is going to offer a member-only drawing or an employee drawing, you can input the information on this slide. You'll want to make sure that you update your credit union name and also include the prizes and number of winners for each of the drawings. If your credit union is choosing to do one or both of these, leave this slide in. If your credit union is choosing to opt out of both of these, then you may delete this entire slide. Next is the slide that talks about how deposits equals entries equals chances for your members to win. So just go through this information with your staff. Because each credit union works on a different core processor, everybody has a different account opening procedures. Your credit union can add your account procedures on this slide, either by typing up the instructions or by adding a print screen of your macro if your credit union wants to make this process easier for your staff. This area is for the truth and savings disclosure as well as the rules. So your credit union will want to add this document location on the slide so credit union staff know where they can find these two important documents to give account holders when they open accounts. This slide is an important slide because it talks about data collection and how it's critical to the program's success and reputation. Review this information with your staff. We have also provided an account opening checklist for your staff to go through each of the items to make sure that all of the account restrictions are being followed as the accounts are being opened. You want to make sure that the member is 18 years or older, that they live in a state that offers the PrizeLink Savings Program through the multi-state program. Ask the member if they have an account at another credit union because accounts are only limited to one per person per participating credit union. Ask the member if they're an employee or board member at any participating credit union, because these people are not eligible for Central or credit union prizes. Check this area when you have given members a copy of the rules and truth in savings disclosures for your credit union. And lastly, ask the member to complete the survey of saving habits, which we'll talk about next. The Survey of Saving Habits slide talks about how our partners at Doors to Dreams created this survey to help analyze the success of the program and ultimately gives us understanding of how the Save to Win product impacts people and helps Americans save. This survey is important to collect savings habits of members and other information about the attractiveness of the product features. It asks for basic birth date, gender, and other demographic information that will reveal what types of consumers this product is serving. Remember that this participation in the survey is completely voluntary. If a member feels uncomfortable answering any question, they can withdraw from the survey at any point. However, their input is very valuable to the program. And lastly, individual responses are used solely to analyze data. Results from this survey will only be shared in an aggregate manner, and no personal data will be shared. It all remains strictly confidential. This slide talks about how to complete the survey. For every different year, we have a different link for the credit union survey, so you'll want to make sure that you go to the administrative site and insert the most recent survey link in this area. Walk through the collection methods with your staff. Next, this area is to be modified by your credit union. You'll want to enter in your credit union sales goals on this slide and also walk through the sales strategies with your staff. Next, brainstorming session. Ask this question to your staff. What tactics will you use to sell Save to Win? You could do a round robin or just ask people to raise their hand and give you ideas of how they're going to sell the product. Lastly, review the member FAQ sheet that you can either print out and give to the staff ahead of time or email and have them review prior to the session. Ask them what questions that they have and thank them for attending the session. Any questions that you're not able to answer at the time, please write down and refer back to your product manager so that we can make sure that we get all the questions answered before the time you launch your product. Next, we're going to take a look at the Trainer's Guide template, which goes along with the staff product training. The Credit Union Trainer Guide gives you tools and resources to use during your training session. You'll be able to look at the invitation to send to your staff and go through a checklist of items that you'll need for your training session. It also offers optional exercise and training scripts if you choose to do that. And at the last page, you can look at suggested internet resources, structures, and other content. This is a good paragraph to send to your staff via email to ask them to attend your training session. You'll want to get them excited about the product and ask them what product delivers 5,000 reasons to smile. That's the Save to Win certificate. It tells them where the training session is, the date and the time and location. If you're going to do an optional product demo, keep this last sentence in, requesting them to bring $1 to the training session. It could be a very rewarding experience. If you choose to opt out of doing the product demo, you'll want to delete that sentence before you send the invitation to your staff. On the same page, you can also see the trainer checklist. These are items that you can prepare before your training session to make sure you have all of the content and materials you need. Make sure you fully review the course content materials and fill out the training PowerPoint. Practice the optional exercise or product demo before the session if you're going to do this. If you're going to do the product demo, make sure you pick up a $25 gift card, cash, or equivalent prize for the optional exercise, and confirm any equipment or connections that you need for your session. To prepare the product information, you'll want to make sure, again, you have customized and finalized your training PowerPoint. You have your credit union's official rules and truth in savings disclosure locations available and ready for your staff, your intranet page where the information will be accessible to your staff, and have the credit union product reference sheet, which is available on the admin site. As far as materials, you'll want to make sure you have this trainer's guide, the presentation on your hard drive, flash drive, or both, the printed notes version of the PowerPoint, which you can use as a script, print out the format of the PowerPoint to send to your participants prior to the session, or you can email them too. Print or email the member FAQ sheet and account best practices for your staff to review prior to the session. Print the prize distribution sheet, and lastly, print the product reference sheet, all of which are available on the administrative website. Scrolling down to the second page, this is the optional exercise and training scripts. This was an exercise that was done at Central Credit Union in Indiana when one of the first rollout of the PrizeLink savings products was launched. The objective for this optional exercise is to make the experience of winning tangible for the audience. You will need a prize or prizes. We recommend something in the order of $25 gift card or equivalent, a method for writing down names to be put in a hat or an equivalent drawing entry holder. The process of this exercise is to have each attendee submit an entry or write their name on a piece of paper along with handing you the dollar bill. This will simulate their entry into the drawing. Collect all of the entries and put them in a hat and have someone draw the name for your winner. Once you've selected the name of your winner, have them come to the front of the room and make a big deal out of winning. Ask the winner these questions. How does it feel to win? What will you do with this prize? To the group, ask them if they know this person. How did they feel when he or she won? Next, you'll give the winner their original money back and ask them how does it feel now that they've won a prize to also keep the original money they invested. Ask the group, what do you think when that happened? Next, give the money back to the entire group and let them know even though they didn't win, at the end of the day they still have their original investment and that everybody earned some interest. So regardless of the drawing outcome, everyone's a winner. And talk about that this is the way that the Save to Win product works. To wrap up the script, you can go through some of these bullet points of the main product features. Next, you can look at the resources handout page, which will give you suggested internet resources and other content. These deal with marketing material placements and other training materials that are available to your staff. Feel free to take a look at this at your own leisure when you have some time. Next, we're going to look at the product reference sheet, which I just mentioned in the last document. This one-page product reference sheet is a good reference for your staff to look at some of the main product descriptions or selling features when talking to members. You can adjust the areas that are highlighted in yellow to modify them for your credit union's program. Once that has been done and all links have been added, save this and print or provide on the intranet for your staff to use. Next, we're going to look at the prize distribution reference sheet. This sheet goes through all of the monthly winners, the total prizes, and the tiered quarterly breakdown with the dates of the drawing, so it's easy and quick for your staff to talk to members about it when they ask what the prizes are. Have this sheet uploaded to your interweb as well for a quick reference for your staff. Next, we're going to look at the member frequently asked questions document. This 4-page document includes all of the most commonly asked questions that your staff or members might ask. Make sure that you as the trainer review this information prior to the training session and also share this with your staff to read before the training session or during the training session if you'd like to go through them with your staff one-on-one. And lastly is the account best practices guide. This 2-page reference guide is something that trainers should become familiar with and also share with staff who will be managing the data file as well as persons who may be opening and closing member accounts. It gives you account opening and closing best practices on the first page and talks about account year-end best practices and tax reporting information. That's very critical and crucial to your program. Those are all the documents we're going to look at today. Before we end this session, I want to remind you of a few items to work on before our next session. First, continue working on your rules and truth in savings disclosure templates. Second, continue setting up your product in the data system. Then pull test reports to make sure they include all of the data requirements. Third, set up a training date for your staff and begin modifying the training documents for the session. And lastly, create a Save to Win product page or outline a plan to promote the program on your credit union's website. Thank you for watching this session. Hopefully it helped you in preparing you to launch your program. Feel free to contact me via phone or email if you have any questions.